So I'm gonna do a short little stream about the Naomi Osaka breakdown at Indian Wells. I'm still trying to get set up here, get used to the StreamYard software that I'm testing out to see if it's worth purchasing a subscription. And it's pretty good, better than OBS, but still a couple of issues. I'll probably be testing another stream software in the near future. But let's see if we get a couple of people joining before I get started. I'm pretty sure I could be heard, but if anybody has trouble with audio and can't hear me, then give me a comment to see if it's coming in clear. Still trying to wrap my head around the streaming stuff. So I'm gonna start in a minute or two just to see if I get a couple people in here, and wondering if you guys could hear me because I'm testing out StreamYard streaming software, trying to get my sea legs with it. I was last night watching the Naomi Osaka match because it's very interesting to see her journey since her first win at the U.S. Open with Serena Williams, which most anybody who understands tennis knows or saw what went on there. What a disaster that was. And my opinion with that was that Venus Williams had a lot to do with turning it into a disaster. Instead of just taking the loss, she had to make it about her and kind of stole Naomi's moment. Whether that aggravated Naomi's issues even more, and just, can you really say that it set her off on a bad pathway where she continued to win? Naomi continues to win Grand Slams, 4-time Grand Slam champion, even with apparently all her issues that she has. Man, that's pretty incredible, but this girl obviously does not enjoy playing tennis. She does not enjoy being in the spotlight like that, and hence you get a breakdown like this for nobody likes to be heckled. Heckling sucks. They shouldn't be yelling in the service games where it should be quiet. Yeah, I get all that, but if someone yells "you suck" from the crowd of 10,000 people or whatever it was that night, and this sets you off, triggers you so much that you basically have a mini meltdown, that's not the problem. The problem is bigger. The problem is, apparently, she admitted, mental health issues. She took a break from tennis after a few breakdowns, and that whole thing about the French Open with not talking to the press because she thinks the press was mean to her, and she didn't want to be bothered with it. Criticizing her play on clay triggered her. That caused another mess, and then the backlash from not talking to the press, then the break from tennis. In my opinion, I think she's done. I think this is the turning point where she's gonna play less. She even said so in this video out of her own mouth. Let's take a look. So her motivation is to play the least amount of tournaments as possible. And that's not because she wants to limit her exposure to the stress and the tournament, the rigors of the tournament play, possibly the travel. Maybe she just likes to stay home and chill. Um, the reason she wants to limit her tournaments or play any tournaments at all is because she has contracts, multi-year contracts that pay her to be a tennis player. You know, she's got a lot of other contracts that pay her to be a spokesperson for a clothing line, for fashion stuff. But it's all because of the tennis. So if she stops playing tennis, that could cause issues with her income. Meaning, if she got paid for a 5-year contract with whatever company to sponsor her as a tennis player, she has to make such and such times appearances throughout the year. She has to at least show up and play tennis at the slams. But if she doesn't play enough tournaments, she's going to have to rely on wild cards into the slams, and that's going to get to become an issue. And if she stops cold turkey tennis for her mental health and for her well-being, and it's going to affect her income, because they'll be asking for that money back. And it's been done before. Monica Seles, #1 player in the world, she was stabbed in the back on court during a match at the French Open. Super traumatizing event. Monica Seles took time off for tennis. Couldn't really stomach to make a comeback. Couldn't even stomach making appearances. She basically stayed away from the spotlight and became a recluse. And you can't blame her. That's a traumatic thing. A stalker tried to kill her. You know, that's something that is pretty serious, and you can't blame her. But she was under contract with, I think it's an Italian company, Fili, and they paid her a bunch of money, millions of dollars, over the course of a few years. She had obligations. Of course, Fili wasn't trying to be a bad guy and force her to play tennis, but they wanted her to at least make appearances to promote the brand, you know, to sell clothes. That's the point. That's why they're paying her. They're not paying her to sit home. And they sued her. And there was talks, you know, they probably were willing to pay her some money to be a spokesperson, even though she never set foot on a tennis court again. But Monica Seles was just out of the spotlight completely. So I really don't know what happened with the lawsuit, but it makes sense that Fila had their money tied up. They couldn't just hire another spokesperson and shell out another few $1,000,000 on somebody else while they got Monica on the payroll. You know, they got a budget. You know, they can only spend so much. That's exactly what's going to happen with Naomi Osaka. She's going to have to give back some money, turn her career into something else, off-court spokesperson for the sport. I think she'll do very well at that. I think she's not ready or not willing, and why should she be? She won 4 Grand Slams and a few other big tournaments. #1 in the world at one point. Do we really need to have a 10-year career of winning all the time? She hit the peak more than anybody could dream of. She's made the money. She has potential to make money in the future years, even if she never hits a ball on a tournament stage ever again. At this point, she should just really retire. She should just hang it up, be proud of what she accomplished. There's plenty of players who've accomplished less. They won one Grand Slam and then they retired to be the GOAT. And, she should be satisfied with that, being a spokesperson for whatever brand that pays her. You can't take away what she accomplished in the game. That can't be taken away. She should just take the money, enjoy, be an ambassador, and that's what I think she's done. I don't see her going to the U.S. Open, because then she's going to be facing more questions about this and stuff. And if she's triggered that easily by some random jerk saying you suck, then I don't see how it's possible to go on. Her people has got to realize this, that the gravy train is going to be over, and they should have saved their money, because I'm sure, hopefully she paid them good. She dumped her coach after she won the U.S. Open, but that's another story I didn't agree with. And that's just another thing that shows that something emotional and mental is going on. Who does that? Well, we know who else does that, but that's another story. But yeah, exactly, Jim. Winning one Grand Slam, you're set. You've done it. She won 4. That's it. There's nothing written that you have to play 10, 15 more years and expect to win. We're looking at Rafa, Federer, Novak, and chasing what they're doing. No, that's like insane. And you have to be a tough cookie to do that. She is not built that way. It's amazing what she's accomplished. And she should just enjoy, You don't need this crap. She's got enough money to live well. Her family and her people she could take care of. And geez, she's got to be done. And she should be done. I mean, come on. Let's take a huge break and really get her mental act together and then make a hell of a comeback. I mean, then she'll cash in again, maybe in 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. I mean, she's still pretty young. People are playing late in their career. So that's my opinion, and that's why I did this quick little stream. And we'll be taking a look at some of the other players. I've been away for a while. I plan to do more videos, tennis, and kind of like, I didn't want to bring in the mandates into the tournament, because that's like another stream that I feel is pretty unfair. Novak not being able to get into the country, which I think he should be able to get in, hopefully, by the U.S. Open. It'll be crazy to have a U.S. Open without a defending or multi-U.S. Open champion being able to play. And they changed their mandates, because now I can go play because they're not checking for all that stuff anymore. So I'm welcome back to the U.S. Open as an amateur player. Novak should be able to go in and defend his title. So thanks for checking out this short little stream. Let me know if it's came across pretty good. Testing StreamYard program here, trying to get my sea legs with it. And I will see you soon. Remember, if you're not subscribed, help support, check out the channel, and enjoy the rest of Indian Wells. Hopefully we don't have too much controversy to talk about. Thanks.